Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have another best of one coming up. This time it's Slovenia playing up against France. And yeah, the battle just continues here. We're not done with Europe yet. We need more teams to qualify. And France looking like a likely candidate. Slovenia had a bit of a rough time last time that we checked in on them. So it could be a one-sided game, but you never know. They are best of one games.
It's true. We're going to give Slovenia a bit of the benefit of the doubt. We did catch them yesterday, though. It was tough. I think there's no twist about it. Germany made it look pretty easy. I think it's probably the best way to put it. We come in towards this matchup. Germany fans are 3-0 in their group currently. France are 2-1. Win this, similar thing where they guarantee, promotion, I guess what you could say, out of the groups in towards the playoffs. And that's the main thing that France are looking for.
Yeah,
this is their best opportunity to do it as well. Slovenia, unfortunately, it's not been the greatest showings from them. They're 0-2 currently, and they've lost both of their maps. I think so. They lost against Germany 13-2, and they lost 13-4 to Portugal. So it has been a little rough. They only picked up 6 rounds so far in their opening 2 matches. It's not been a great run out. They're hoping that they can kind of change things up here. And maybe they can. Let's take a look at that lineup for you so you can get familiar with some of the names on this side for Slovenia. We got them yesterday. So Destro, Uni, Yerne, or Yerne, is how I was told to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Jixi and Libra is the spelling and I guess the pronunciation of these guys. I was told yesterday. They didn't have a great little run up, but they all play under the same organization. They're on the Diamante, I think, or Diamant. Diamonds, like that. Esports. They're a new org coming through from the region, so it's good. They're a team. They have ideas and hopes for kind of the future. They're new, I know, is what I was told yesterday. So it's early doors. That's what we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. France most definitely come in as the favorites.
They should be. The French lineup obviously going to be quite powerful here. There's no question about it. Maka will definitely know as being a super talent at the moment. Exercise or exercise, I don't know which pronunciation we're going with, but Jocko, Lucky, and Gravity. I guess Gravity maybe the one name that is a little bit less familiar to the most of us, but the rest we recognize.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I just on the exercise thing. I've heard people call him exercise. I know the players themselves call him exercise, so that's kind of where I've always gone, and where they guys that know that the French pronunciation. I know I had a bit of a chance at Pro League to speak to Maka, and we kind of touched on just on XT's playing well, and he would call him exercise. So I've kind of changed. I always used to call him exercise. I've kind of changed it to exercise off the back of him saying that. Because I feel like, if that's what Maka's saying, I feel like it's probably about right. But it's a really cool team. 3D Max. They play a fairly decent amount of Tier 1 events. They're the best team in France, the best players in France as well. Basically, bar the guys that are over towards Vitality. This is a super cool lineup, and they've been performing really, really well. And qualifier is actually where they do all their best work. They've been kind of qualifier demons for a long, long time. Hence why they play those Tier 1 events, because they come through all of these open quals. Let's take a look at the Veto, though, see where we're going to be heading in this one. Had a lot of Ancient and a lot of Anubis, but they're actually the final 2 bands. Dust 2 is where we're going. So I don't hate this. A little bit of a change up. I'm not a huge Dust 2 fan, but a change up here, a bit of a fresh face map. I'm not going to complain.
No, I love it. Let's go. We've been dodging this map for a little bit, and yeah, I just think it's fun to get to see it back in the pool. It's a great map. Obviously, traditionally was the map that people would play in best of ones because it's just a home ground for everybody, really. So I enjoy it. I like it. We're going to get to see if Slovenia are going to be able to battle it out of this one. Again, we dare say it's probably going to be quite a hard game for them, but, maybe we can see some of the individuals shine a little bit more. They should have a chance to get some rounds in on a map like Dust 2, right? You're out there fighting. It's all about the aim. You could definitely do that. But France, they should make it there. They might even make it really far in the main tournament going on in Riyadh. So I guess we'll see.
True.
See when we get there.
True. Exactly. We'll keep our eye on it. This is the big one. France can win this. They guarantee they're going towards the playoffs. It's just the case of whether they finish second or third. But I think at that point, all you care about is that you're guaranteeing moving their way forward. Those playoffs are going to be pretty brutal. So we're looking forward to it. Quite cutthroat, but it is a double kind of bracket sort of thing, upper, lower bracket, actually a 7th place spot here in the West European quals as well. Let's take a look at the schedule and see kind of where we're at in our day so far. We've got a few games already. We've got a few games coming up as well. We are just about to get towards the halfway point, as we've had Denmark, of course, against Slovakia, which Slovakia made look pretty comfortable. Same for Czech Republic against Switzerland, and then earlier today, a pretty competitive game, in all fairness, between Slovakia and Wales, but it was Slovakia who took that one. And with those 2 wins, they are guaranteed as well. They just beat, but they didn't just beat, they beat comfortably Denmark, but they just pipped them to that playoff spot. So, yeah, honestly, a really solid Group A, and all the other groups as well are now more or less after this round are going to be concluded. So we'll know who's making it to the playoffs after this game.
Yeah, a couple of interesting teams down the road that we haven't really got to touch with yet. Like you said, North Macedonia, Belarus, Azerbaijan, and Albania are in there. Romanian squad we haven't seen play yet, but we expect they're going to be pretty good too. So yeah, we're going to see some fresh new teams that we haven't had a chance to touch up with yet. I think that's nice too. Everyone gets a chance to be featured on the stream pretty much. So yeah, there's a whole long day still ahead of us for Counter-Strike. But I don't know, some of these matches have the potential to be quite one-sided. So all in all, we'll probably be keeping the schedule quite well. Yeah,
exactly that. I mean, so far we've roughly kept to it, in all fairness. We had a bit of a tech issue at the start of the day, which was about 20 minutes behind, I think, by the time we got in. But then a couple of quick games, especially that previous one, put us right back on schedule. So yeah, I think that's kind of the beautiful thing and the beautiful way it's kind of works. And because it's best of ones, I mean, we've actually seen as well, especially when we were doing Asia, we had, when we had the kind of the stats at the tail end of the game, it actually show how long the maps were as well. And for an average map, let's say it goes like kind of 13:10, 13:9, something in that kind of region, it's about 35 minutes. So it really actually shows, first of all, how the difference between Go was about 45 minutes an average map. CS2 is now about 35, which has made it, I think, a little bit more palatable in some cases, I think, for more casual viewers in itself. Also making these best of ones actually quite quick, generally speaking.
Yeah, I think, obviously we played MR15 for such a long time, but, looking back on it now, I think if we went back to MR15, as much as people, have rose-tinted glasses about the good old days and all the rest of it, I think if we did it now, people would be like, "Come on, this could be a really long time for best of 3," which in the right setting is awesome, but every other time it's a huge, letdown. So, yeah, I think we're in a good spot right now. I don't really mind it. We expect for France to be picking up this one. Marker again. I mean, someone who's just a talented player, one of the players that could be out there to go on to bigger and better things in the future.
Yes, no, I think you're right. I mean, when I look at it, the 3DMAX side on paper have a lot of talent. I was quite surprised when Hadji decided to leave as well. He stepped down from this team, wanted to pursue international offers, and I thought, that 3DMAX felt actually like one of the best teams in Tier 2. They're the teams that make the majority of lands. They're a really, really solid team. And I guess now they were left with a bit of a hole. They filled it with Gravity, the youngster, and honestly, a really talented individual for me. I've liked what he's done since coming in towards his roster. He doesn't play the best roles, but he said he was kind of just happy to play with basically legends of his scene. And
that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, so far he's been doing pretty damn well. So yeah.
It would be cool if somebody could fix the French scene at some point. Like it obviously at the start of CS:GO, for those of you who don't remember, the only team ever that even looked remotely interesting against NIP that dominated everything was obviously Vera Games. But after that, we had so many other French lineup, like the LDLC times, the Envy lineup at some point. Like we had a lot of really, really cool French teams out there and a lot of talent, obviously. And it kind of feels like it's just disappeared a little bit over the years. Like obviously we got people like Apex and Cyber that are out there fighting left and right. But generally speaking, like we don't have like the full force of the French scene with like real French representation. So that's unfortunate, and it's a bit weird how it's ended up that way. I can't really explain it. I mean, the French team was known for its infighting, so I guess that's kind of part of it. But
yeah.
But still, like, come on, it's been years, guys. Mend those fences, build something cool again. That's what we all want.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I think the biggest issue that I've always kind of noticed with the French scene, and I think it's honestly quite similar to quite a few scenes. I mean, Denmark, to a degree, and Sweden are probably the only ones that I can think of off the top of my head that don't have this issue. But it's just about depth for me. I feel like at the grassroots level, they're not having that constant influx. I mean, Russia's actually the same as well. They have so much talent coming through, but it's a massive country with a huge population. But I think Denmark and Sweden are still one of the ones that continuously have these youngsters who are coming through and being really, really competitive. And I think, if I was to sit down now and talk about Danish and kind of Swedish youngsters who I think could actually be tier 1 in the future. I could probably sit here for a few minutes and talk about the potential of a few. Whereas for France, I really can't. You know, they don't really even have that many organizations below kind of the tier 2 scene that are trying this more grassroots French style of thing. They have a bit of a local scene, but it's just not that developed. And I think that's the big thing that's been struggling for them. That the top level, their peak is so high. Obviously, we know about kind of Zywoo and Apex and the rest, but it very rapidly declines after 3D Max, where even in the tier 2 space, you just don't really see that many French teams who are kind of making a name for themselves.
Yeah, surely that has to change, right? They have a long history with the game. They should be able to produce a little bit more, but
They should.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be onto the game in a couple of seconds. It seems like that's going to be the case. We will be on Dust 2 to begin with, and yeah, our expectations are to see Slovenia having to really play their maybe A+ game to stand a chance here. Best of ones are the best territory for underdog teams to upset the situation. So, you know, on a wild and wicked day where you've got one player who's having the game of his life, it can definitely change the outcome. So I'm keeping an open mind in that sense. But yeah, the game should be underway in a couple of seconds here. So I don't know. For the rest of the day, is there a particular team out of the rest of them that we haven't seen yet that you feel like is going to be good? Like, do you know what the Albanian squad looks like?
Do you know what? I looked at the names and I got to be perfectly honest, I don't actually know anything about them.
Okay.
I think because there is actually obviously a lot of talent in that region, but I honestly think a lot of the premium talent are in and around Kosovo at the moment. I think they've actually got a fairly decent kind of tier 2-ish where there's a few players that maybe not even competing, for example, that are still very, very solid. So yeah, for Albania, the players that I don't actually recognize, I did have a little look, but I couldn't really figure out, where they were, what they were doing, and all the rest. So yeah, I'll be interested in kind of what they look like as well, because we know for a fact that whole region is very, very solid indeed. So
yeah, they love Counter-Strike. They truly do. Slovenia are going to be starting on the T side. They're going to run into Maka at the start of it, and actually, he'll just get taken down right away. So, good beginning. They'll be lucky to get the first kill, though. He did take up one before they trucked Maka there at the short connection. So, slows down the game a little bit. They are rushing on to the A side, though, so we'll have a little bit of a fight going on here in a couple of seconds. It looks like Destro actually doing a very decent job right now. Bomb gets planted. Lucky. All right, they're fighting back. They shouldn't be losing this one. Slovenia. So 2 versus 4 now, making a 1 versus 1. Jocko. He's got. Oh no! Oh no! He fell to his death. What a way to get started.
Yeah, not in the way I think that France would have wanted at all. Slovenia are going to take this first round. Wow.
That is really funny.
Just a funny way for a round to end. I don't think it's one of those ones that'll linger too much towards France and be like, oh, we should have taken that. It's funny. I think they can get over it, but it is kind of hilarious. It's, yeah, funny way for that one to fall flat. Slovenia. And, you know, you see what it means to them now as well. You know, a buy to come through. There is a force buy, in all fairness, from France. You know how I feel about those, but MP9s across the board. If they don't convert it, it's going to be a good start for Slovenia.
Yeah, got what they're dreaming of here. Although, gravity is so important. Goes back for the reload. He knows he's dead in this corner. Oh, he gets one more. I was going to say, the only question is how many people can you get with you? And so far, he's done a remarkable job. He, I think, got a little bit of a dink there. He got the assist on the last one. So practically a quad kill for gravity on that one. That's really sick.
Okay. I'll hold my hands up. Fair enough. That's a decent force buy worked. Back turn into that first fight is questionable. The second one as well, throwing Yuto in the hands. They've just caught the timing absolutely perfect. Is that third one, which is the heads-up duel, which has worked really well. They go for a kind of slower mid-play there for Slovenia, and they just get completely caught off guard. So showing that it's not really the worst thing in the world that they lose out on that pistol. The scout trying to tag at range. Pop shots from Uni. Doesn't quite convert.
Yeah, and I think that's probably also a bit of a message being sent by France saying, you know what, like, okay, it was a funny way to lose the pistol, but at the end of the day, we are going to be the stronger team here. So Slovenia still probably have to prove quite a bit to make this work.
I think you're right. I honestly think there's a real kind of mindset probably for France coming into this where they're just thinking, we are better. We don't need to show you respect. We're going to play our game and we know it's going to work. Gravity, Good lineup, good spam. He knows that jumping up towards Xbox, he can keep catching them off guard. Oh my god. You're lucky man still be alive. That molly, that spreads even for the smallest of tick. He is dead. How is he not on fire? The molly was traveling up. It looked like it was traveling up him. I'm not sure how he's not died there. He goes out to the nade regardless.
We saw that earlier on Ancient, where there was a defuse happening, what looked like straight inside of the Molotov. So, weird world that we're living in. But it's a good cleanup here. They will lose 0 people on the French side. They will steal 2 AKs and a Galil. So, I mean, if their money wasn't already going to be good of winning that MP9 round, obviously with Gravity getting all the kills, like they're just going to have so much to work with into the future here. So, it's an immediate correction for France. They don't care about losing the pistol. They're right back into it. And yeah, for Slovenia, I think this is going to be one of those games where like making quick calls, like try and go like solid out long, rush B if you need to, like whatever. Just I think making decisive calls and following through is going to be the name of the game here. I think if you start to slow this down, it's just going to benefit the French side. I don't think you're going to be winning more behind it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Lucky. Making a move here. This is nice and aggro, and it could and should work for at least 1, if not 2. Turns on the flash. The AK only gets 1 in all fairness. But thankfully, I don't think it'll be too problematic. I say that. They've been gifted kills, and Union, this AK, full blind, gets the second.
Oh, Jocko doing great work. Well, eventually going to get found. Ecstasy's on his own, and a little bit of a spray. He will get the job done. It's a very close round. He's down to 2 health, so unfortunately for Libra there, he probably could have won that one with a little bit more luck on his side. Not meant to be. So 3-1 in favor of France. But yeah, this one's looking very doable.
It's true. It is very true. Jocko, that double. Actually, very important as well in just making sure that they don't overwhelm him individually and towards lower. 3-1 start by back in, though. For Slovenia, get the rifles out. I mean, still no AWP, just a scout in play for Jixi. So can he make something work of this? I mean, it's maybe even an argument to be made of, would the Galil be a little bit more preferential in some of these situations? Have to see. If you can get a bit of tag damage, though, with it, then maybe. But 0-4 currently, and with 9 ADR, he's been struggling to kind of get those tags. Makes you think that is that Mac 10 or Galil maybe a little better until you kind of get your aim trained?
I think the answer is yes, but the Scout is definitely more fun to play with on a map like this too. So, if you factor that in, then maybe that's why he's making these choices. But some good grenades up on the catwalk. Yeah, I mean, the catwalk on Dust 2 is, I think, probably tactically the most important area. On the T side, you must push the CTs back. Whether you want to take the catwalk for an A attack or if you want to go for like a mid to B split, doesn't really matter. They just can't be there to find out what you're doing. So, yeah, important part of the map that Slovenia at the moment are slowly but surely taking over. And the bomb is with them as well. So, yeah. 40 seconds. I said slowly, but it's actually becoming very slow. That could be a little bit of an issue down the road here.
True. The God Flash being set up here by Lucky. Can't see it. If you swing out from short, so you can't turn away from it. That's what makes it so good. Smoke CT. That'll give him the cross. Gravity popped in for a fight. Oh, it's a really rough spray, though. And he's now left his teammate isolated backside. This is going to be tough.
15 seconds, though. He gets the 1 kill here. Jocko can win this round just by getting the bomb killed instead. Get some more headshots. They're trying to plant it. 5 seconds left, and that's it. It's done. They run out of time, and they run into Jocko, who gets a quad kill at the end. They left it just a little bit too low on the clock there, Slovenia, unfortunately, and it's a heartbreaking round to lose.
Yeah, a tough one. They try and barrel in, and Jocko just backside. All he has to do is isolate fights, and he does it masterfully as well. While the rest of the round may itself not have gone too well for the fights that were coming through for France, in that instance, they are plucked out of the sky. The tap on towards the bomb is an interesting decision as well. I think the best thing you could have done is stick the bomb and hope that Jocko doesn't full commit to the swing, but
yeah, probably.
You kind of lose the round by your own decision rather than Jocko's kills in that sense. A little looking towards lower, nothing spotted, so the M4 will fall back in via CT and reset once again. Lower by for Slovenia, and this one should be a French fifth, creeping on the edge of the smoke. Oh, but Maka will fall. Nice little 1-2 setup.
Honestly, in some of these rounds, Slovenia are doing probably more damage than I was expecting. Maybe not all of them, but certainly Junie is doing a fine job at the moment. 7 kills. They're going to lose Jixi, and it's a 4 versus 3 here. They should have no business getting a lot done in this round. It should be an easier cleanup here for France. But you never know. The Eagles, Dust 2. Bit of a classic setup, really.
Libra. That's the Eagle making a little move out here via mid. He's not alone in his endeavors. He can have the spawn a unit coming with him. They've got to isolate some pretty nice shots. And Gravity playing a bit of an off angle here. They actually might not expect him. He's in between positions, so it's not somewhere your crosshair would be trained. Hence why he gets that one for free. And he might get more as well. Oh, he just gets out of there. He takes a tag before he leaves. And Jocko gets caught as well. However, they walk straight back into Lucky. They go 1-for-1. Scout pulled out. Missed shots by both. It's not an impossible round, but the one thing that hurts him is the timer. Again.
Yeah. Can they make the 3 through at all? Junie's trying, but the Molotov just too much to handle. And it will be another round. France absolutely pulling through in this one in a big way. I don't know. What's the road to recovery here for Slovenia? They look like they're in dire straits at the moment. Even if France are losing a couple more players than we're expecting in some of these rounds, they're winning them. And yeah, Slovenia not having the impact that we need from the start here.
Yeah, it's true. If Slovenia don't find a round in the next 3, I'm going to be pretty concerned. Out long, not effective. XSC gets one. Basically for free there. He spots another as well in the back of that smoke. But it's actually through the smoke that the orb gets one of his own.
It's a chance to reload here. Kind of stuck out long. Yeah, I was going to say Destro there. He was without any real backup. They had a couple of flashes they probably could have thrown for him to take the swing instead. Lucky. Wow, that's frustrating. I think he got wall banged on the other side, so had to turn around to respect that, and then eventually goes down. Libra, 1 versus 4 here. And he's going to get found instantly. So a much more dominant round again here for France. They kind of, yeah, a little bit of a mix of everything. Some of these rounds are a bit close. This time is, again, you get a sense that the French team just probably on a completely different scale here, able to pick up the round and continue their lead. I don't know if there's much going to change in this game. Not to sell Slovenia too short here, but it kind of feels like that. That at this point it's probably going to be more of the same.
No, it's true. It's very, very true. I mean, honestly, I look at it and say, yeah, there's little bits that we're seeing in the round from Slovenia, but in a more macro sense of things, France are just playing the better Counter-Strike right now. Potflash comes through. It does actually blind up XSC, so you might not want to fight too heavily behind this. I mean, he's sticking around, though. And why not? If you're going to get a double for it, not bad, because the AWP's there behind us to support. Double scoped in, looking for another. Shoots on the jiggle. And now he's going to be held for.
France not respecting this at all, saying, you know what, we're not going to let you play around down at the bottom of long. We're just going to go find you and pick up the round. So 7-1. And it's kind of a whole team effort. Everyone on France is having a pretty good time. It'll be up to Slovenia to try and find a way to change this, which we can keep saying, but until we actually see it happening, then we're gonna be left wondering a little bit. More of a default spread coming out. Again, I feel like you can go with the default route, but those defaults, I think you're making an assumption when you do that you're going to be winning as many fights as you're losing, and you can kind of, make it out. The problem is if you go for a default spread and you lose all of the early fights, you're just going to get blown apart. I think at some point making out of spawn calls and saying, okay, let's go hard, catwalk, let's trade our way through, get the bomb planted. I think it's a better choice. So this one, though, is working out. They're winning some of those fights early on. That should make a difference.
Well, This is a tough one. And the big thing for me is that I just think Slovenia are too easily read in these rounds. But this is the first one where they felt a little bit of aggression comes through, a bit of a step up in tempo, and they're spread out a bit more. So they're testing kind of on all fronts. And at least now they've got something to work with. The one thing, Destro, Libra, both low on HP. Slovenia, they're going to pump the brakes. But these slower rounds have actually been where, in a couple of occasions, have actually cost them. Let's not go too slow. 45 seconds, they're grouping towards upper tunnels. Looks like a B finish, and there's 2 players from France to meet them here.
Well, let's see. This is probably one of the best chances they've had. I will say this, Exorcist is, he's on a flank here, so this could be kind of painful for them if they're not careful. Oh, he does get spotted. So he won't get any kills, but he also will stay alive. So I guess that's something. Ooh. 20 seconds, they get the one. Now they just have to take care of Jocko, but that might be a little bit of a problem. 15 seconds, they will take him down. 10 seconds now as they run to pick up the bomb, which they absolutely need here. This could be disastrous if they end up losing this one. 4 seconds left, or just about, and they're going to get the round home here. Not bad. Slovenia picking up a second one finally.
If Jocko stays alive for like 5 seconds more there, I think he wins the round. I think he gets those 3 kills, and he's in his head, he's, right, I'm here, I'm crisp, I'm hitting these shots. I mean, that is a ridiculous reaction. I don't think he should peek it, though. I think he should let them fight him. He should let them swing. Yes, it's a right-eye peek for Slovenia, but he's got to just hope that they don't hit that first bullet, and then he can kind of utilize his pure good mechanics to his favor. I think by swinging in, he's a B-side vulnerable, and his teammate is so far away that he can't make the difference. A second on the board for the T side. Needs to be the second of, I think at least many more. I want to see them get, if they get 4, that's something. Any less, I'm a little concerned. Of course, they buy right back in, right? No issues in terms of the funds in this one. Then maybe not next round, but the round after, they continue losing, might be a different story.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the thing, though. You're right. For France, it's not like they've been winning every single engagement, right? They've had some casualties. Hard to tell if they have those casualties because they're just playing a little bit loose right now. It kind of feels like it's probably the case. Like they're fighting probably more than they normally would if they felt like there was more pressure on the other side. So they're probably taking it a little bit easy in some of these rounds. Just saying, let's just go for it and see what happens. And who can really blame them? They're having a decent time out there and winning quite a bit. Journey, not quite sure what's going to be happening on that side. Destro, it's a good kill, good peek. Will be falling back immediately afterwards. Lucky he did trade the kill. 40 seconds. Only one player hard on the A-bomb side. We do have Ecstasies down at long. Nicely done. Okay. The AWP. Gonna try to be the leading voice in out via short. Pop flash over. He'll turn. Nice easy one to see for him. Behind that molly. He actually uses a bit of coverage as well. He's got support of Ecstasies. Finds himself 2. It's a real nice shot down backside. 2 players playing out towards the back of a site. And they don't give them any leeway into it. 8-2. Already 8 on the CT side is more than fine for me. The way France are playing, though, I'd be very surprised not to see them get at least 9, if not 10. Yeah, there's no stopping them at the moment. Just individually, you could even tell in some of these rounds, their setups might not be amazing. We're not saying, tactically, this is France just coming out way ahead. That's not really the problem. The problem is that, even 1 or 2 players from France here can get a couple of multi-kills at any given moment, and that's going to make the rounds very hard to play for Slovenia. I will say this, though. A little bit of a push down towards lower dark. Always fun to see. It's the French that are cooking up something down there. So we'll see if it's going to be success or not. No one spotted out Gravity. He was there earlier with an MP9, but he got like almost 4 kills. Like 4 and another 80% damage. But so far, no one spotted him. Jocko's going to get a kill. Junie, do you even... Oh, he might be looking for the AWP in the middle here. He's going to be checking it. All right, heads up play for Junie. I mean, fair play. He just didn't have the weapon for it.
Battle via long. Ecstasy support. The 2 remaining here have a chance. They're trying to go quick on the tempo. My God, he misses a shot. Nearly cost him a life. This might, but he is lucky in support. The double AWPs are doing exactly that. They just go into the shooting gallery at long. And against 2 AWPs, that's the worst place you could possibly be. France to a 9th. And they're already getting incredibly close to making this a bit of a no contest, in honesty.
Yeah, there is, unfortunately for the Slovenians, there's nothing to slow them down here at the moment. Just blown up, 9-2, going in round number 12. It is the last of the half. They've got 2 AKs, 2 AWPs, and 1 M4 on the French side. They're super well equipped. Marker has lost his mind and is pushing lower dark with an AWP. Again, a display of confidence. They will actually get the shot on the Jocko in the back line. Just Gravity is left inside of the bomb site. And there is Marcus pushing up behind with the AWP. That's so dangerous. But again, Gravity just good for a couple of kills, which will keep France in the round ever so slightly. 2 versus 3 here.
Okay. Maybe a chance to work with. Numbers favor them, but HP and Uni doesn't. I guess probably the one thing that really is going to hurt. Oh my god, XSECA gets one for free. And it's actually not the low HP player to make matters worse.
Well, they're set up for the crossfire here towards the door, and they'll get the kill right away. So they know where he's coming from, and they'll spin around. Uni, that's a good job. Nice triple. He's up to 14 at the end, and will claim a round for his team right at the tail end of the game here. It's good, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be enough here.
Yeah, I'm really not sold on this making a massive difference at the end. Yes, you get 3, and maybe even with a pistol, we can talk about a little bit of something where you can get the pistol and the force. That's up towards 5. There's something on the cards. It's going to be a long, long road to recovery if there's going to be any sort of a chance. So we'll have to see. I'm not sold. I'm very convinced that France are playing very good Counter-Strike right now. They've not been offering up already all too many weaknesses. Basically, bar over-fighting. And to a degree, I don't really blame them for over-fighting. When you're winning more or less every aim duel, why not? Lucky gets 1. Oh, and he gets another as well. But at least there's a trade. The numbers still good for Slovenia.
Yeah, totally respectable from Slovenia out on long. No problems there. Crossing on over. Libro lets a couple go. Doesn't quite get the kill that he probably wanted there. And I think Judy's playing this very smartly. Staying on the bomb side and fighting is a good chance you're going to make it a quick 2v2 for your team. Instead, stay alive, join the retake. So pretty heads-up Counter-Strike being played by him here. The bomb's planted. I don't think that's necessarily the most important part. Is whether or not they can actually go for this retake. Juni gets 1, good one. The flash actually works against Jocko there. He's going to go down, and it'll be Slovenia to win the pistol, retaking the bomb site. That is well played.
Yeah, good work. Good work from them. That might give them some coverage to kickstart the CT side. It still feels like it's going to require, something quite special if they're going to pull off this comeback. But at least here, you've got a 4th on the board. A bomb plant, I would usually, say, should see a full buy coming through, and it will. So, an investment going to come out here for the French side. We've got a few Galils. We've got a Scout for Maka, Max 10 for Gravity, and Exorcist will just wield the Deagle with the util. It's not the worst buy in the world. They already won the last Force buy as well, so I don't really, blame them for going in for it again.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing, isn't it? Like we said, some of the aggression and some of the crazy fights coming out of the French team, probably due to the fact that you just feel like, well, we have a good chance of winning even some of these rounds. So I don't mind either. You might as well give it a shot. And they're stacked up on the catwalk, so pretty classic setup. We're going to be a late lurk coming out long, while the rest are going to try and see if they can make their way through on the catwalk side. So one fight being won here, and that A defense is probably going to be crumbling. But Jixie gets 1. It's a pretty decent start from us here. Even out putting a little bit of damage, trying to see if they can recover and get some teammates rotated on over. Good trades. I mean, for Slovenia, it's still a man advantage.
Okay. I'm going to go down, though. At least it's going to give them a chance. Deathstroke trying to creep on the edge of that smoke, and he managed to get timing. He spots the shoulder, and he will get the kill towards Gravity. That's important. Time's still ticking, but numbers are good. With Lucky tag down low, it's not easy, last man. On the Warsaw side, no, surely not for Maka. Gets the first 2. He's just trying to play around the boxes. There's one behind him. He pulls out the Glock, and he isn't able to pull off. That would have been a ridiculous 1v4, but it's not to be. And Slovenia going to find another round.
You kind of got a sense that maybe that was going to be doable for Maka, right? Like, if he landed that burst onto the 3rd player, I think he was on. But yeah, it just took him a second too long. Either way, it's a pretty strong lead still for the French side. But it's good to get over a couple of rounds here. Maybe Slovenia could be reinvigorated, bringing some of these rounds here. So 9-5, and we're leading into another round here. They're going to buy again. They got bomb plant. They got a lot of damage in. They don't want to let off the pressure the front side. Yeah, they do want to keep going. I can't blame them.
Yeah, I'm with you. Still, this time it's arguably even better than what they had in the previous round. Now with double AKs, especially in the hands of, I mean, Gravity's been pretty crisp so far this game. Jocko's actually only got a deagle, but he's actually looked really, at least mechanically, on it in this best of one so far. Slow round to start though. France, shift walking, contact, they're not offering a huge amount. They do have plenty of util though in the back pocket, which is the main thing. So they're just waiting for Slovenia to overfight. So far, this has not been the case. They're trying to get an opportunity out of nothing. Now they're going to make a bit of a move. Short will be taken. Nobody up close. I'll leave you perplexed. Where do we go from here?
Still plenty of time in the round, so not really rushing to try and get anything done. A little bit of pressure in the middle, trying to make their way out, and might just be successful with it. Gravity, that's a strong kill. They'll set them up really nicely, headed into the bomb side, and they just run into Libra. All right, a little bit of a defense finally. Slovenia actually surprising me in this round. They're going to clean up and win it and get up to 6. This CT side is looking a little bit more interesting. Well played to them so far.
Yeah, honestly, only 3 rounds in it now, and because the force buys aren't going well for France, they do have to take a bit of a breather here. They can't opt to go into another one, or at least I hope they don't. I mean, they technically could if they really wanted to push the boat out a bit and go in towards kind of Galils and Mac 10s, but don't. There's no need. It's a low buy here, but that means Slovenia should, in theory, or at least have a better chance of getting up to 7. That's 2 rounds. That's reaching distance. This is more competitive than I initially thought it would be.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Nothing to work with here on the French side. So, yeah, they can mess around with it a little bit. Hope to have some fun with some of the pistols of the scout here, but ultimately, it should be the round working out for Slovenia. So, 9-7 with a little bit of luck going their way. That's quite a different feel from the way that this started out.
Contacts. Up towards short. Lucky holding for rotations. Jixie's just going to drop a smoke. He doesn't need to play too aggro here. I think especially considering they should expect, I mean, if they've been keeping track of the econ, that because it's going to be a weird buy, Tech 9s is the kind of vibe that they're expecting. You never want to be overwhelmed of it. So just play at range. So then you can isolate fights. You can dance around ramp, dance around the boxes on site.
Yeah.
Give them freebies. Yeah, they're going to find one for free, and that's lucky. Over fights. The flash is good to let them crossing towards the site itself, but at range, it should only go one way. Gravity, though, gets one with a Tech 9. Maybe a chance. Scout, missed shot, but the bomb goes down, so that's already a positive.
Yeah, gonna get a little bit of extra. Still shooting, not quite sure if they realized there was no more players on the site, but either way, yeah, a little bit of money in the bank for the French side, but not enough damage here either to really make it interesting. So 9-7. It's slowly sort of getting a little bit weird for the French here. What's going on? Like, I keep thinking like any minute now we're going to see the real comeback for them. They're going to be back in this game, and it'll be a different scenario. But at some point, we've got to say as well, what's going to happen here if they can't turn this around?
Yeah, it is one of those where I think internally just thinking this is still like kind of that first half where it was pretty plain sailing. The rounds themselves felt a little bit close, but the end result wasn't, right? 9-3, and now it's 4 in a row coming through. That's a good flash, and it's a good fight as well. Jocko's a lucky man actually to not fall in that initial engagement. Second time of asking though, does get traded out, and a nade towards lower tons too. Chips down Lucky a little bit. Gravity up close, a lost fight. But information on 2, I guess, is a small silver lining.
Grenade that lands right on top. That sucks. 3 versus 3. Otherwise, they would have had a man advantage for that grenade right on top of him. Junior outside, playing very well. 18 kills. Got to give him a lot of credit here. Probably one of the big reasons why Slovenia are still able to hang on to this. And making a bit of a late comeback. Just jiggling the corner here. Xyz, he sees the shadow, but he's not quite ready for the double peak. I think if he had committed to one of those players, he probably wins the fight, but you can tell he's a little bit split in who to fight, and neither of them go down. Could be a bomb plant, or it should be a bomb plant here for France. And the truth is, there's actually a pretty good way to win this one. If you plant towards short, and you just kind of, you stick around with the Molotov here for lucky, you can keep that side smoked up forever. You got 2 smokes, and then all you have to do is kind of wait for the Molotov to go out. He's going to be smoking CT spawn. Goes for the fight here, Maka. That's probably unnecessary, but get a job done. Yeah, there's the smoke to stop them from going catwalk. And if they go the other way, then they're going to run into the Molotov eventually. Oh, he throws it out already. I was going to say wait for the eventual defuse, but Slovenia already so slowed down. This is a little bit of a problem for them, and they looks like they're giving up the round. Wow, we didn't even get to see the retake.
Okay, so that's how France find their first. Probably more unorthodox than I think we were expecting, in all fairness. A weird round, but in the end, I know still happily take. Lucky, make sure you get away, fella. You don't want to go down to the bomb, but he should be far enough away. That's not the end of the world. And that is the case. 10-7, a 3-round buffer, which is still very doable for Slovenia to catch up, especially with their current form. However, it's France 3 rounds away. Any bad decisions kind of financially or mistakes in the round, and France could just close it off the back of that merit alone. Nice shot from Maka there, in all fairness, towards Pit. Doesn't get a lot of information to work with. Double AWP is what Slovenia are going to bring in towards this one. Now, this is a big call for me, Anders. You know, with that double AWP, if you lose this round against Slovenia, you probably give France, not obviously the 11th, but not only that, probably the 12th as well, which is map and series point. So it really is kind of that make or break territory.
I think that's totally fair. And again, France they've been keeping up the pressure on this T side, right? They keep forcing, they keep buying. They're never letting Slovenia have any kind of easy rounds. So there could be a little bit of trouble here. Lucky will take down a player walking in and put some more pressure even on Jixi, who's up here. Forced back, uncomfortable position because they're going to be coming in from long eventually. Now, sure, he's got the AWP at range here. But with that many people walking through, and Lucky might get rewarded for a little bit of patience here. He's going to spot out one player. Don't know if he... No, he's not going to realize there's a second in there. But either way, France are in a great position right now. They're not going to get flanked on long because Lucky would have already called it out to his teammates saying they can flank long. So I'm pretty sure someone from France is going to be watching that most of the time. And Molotov here will force Jixi very far. Oh no, it burns him all the way. He couldn't escape. That's pretty devastating.
That is, it's a tough one, right? He's good. Do you go forward to your demise to the bullets, or do you go backwards? And where you can't really even escape. It was a pick your poison sort of situation. He was down regardless. Oh my god, like ships and light though. They've gone past each other. The smoke. Oh my god. Oh, and just to make it worse, Libra then himself gets flanked upon. Yeah, you hate to see it. 11-7. That feels like it could be the straw that breaks the camel's back for me in this one, with no money really to work with here in Slovenia. They just have to sort of allow France to get up towards 12 unless they opt for a force, and they are, it seems. An M4 picked up. So this is the big one. Anders, this is kind of for all the... Okay, thankfully they actually refund it. I was going to say that's a wild call because nobody else can really buy. Thankfully not the case. They're going to go for a lower pop, and 2 of them actually get down.
Wow, Gravity. Good spray down already. 4 more spins around for the quad. He's on fire over there at the upper dark position. Now it's just Juni left, and he's going to get found right away. So, yeah, it came true a little bit quicker than what we were expecting here, but you did call it. They would lose that round, they would lose the money, and it was probably going to be 12 for France. That's exactly what we're seeing here. Round number 20, and, well, they have to force up by whatever they can in this one. Gravity, what a great display.
Yeah, this is individually brilliant from him. The youngster in this team trying to prove himself, and I think so far, at least in that round, absolutely so. In this game, 22-12. He's been great. Potentially, this could be the last hurrah, though. They do have a bye, which is good. I don't know if they have a chance, though. A lower tunnels push has come through, and France are aware of this. They're actually trying to wrap in through. Lucky takes a bit of a fight. Doesn't overfight, though, which is smart. Just dips away.
Plenty of time. No reason to stick around. Leave it. Smokes towards catwalk, towards the crossing. We're actually going to be dropping down for CT spawn there. So, yeah, they've really smoked everything they need to. Molotov towards the car. It's very, very standard grenades coming out here to try and take this long control. And I don't know, there are no real good counter nades coming out here from the Slovenian side. They don't have the money for it. Otherwise, you can try and blow open the smoke a little bit, catch some T's walking across, but I think they had one HE somewhere, and they really got used. Bomb, yeah, being planted in the safety, that's probably going to be important here. As they're trying to get close. It'll be a cleanup in this round. Destro goes down, and now it's just up to Junie. Last one left in the 1 versus 3. He's getting some sick shots in, at least. He's had a real highlight game for himself. 19 kills overall. I don't think it's going to be enough here. He just doesn't have the health to stay alive against this. AWP 13-7, and it will be France to pick up the victory. But, you know, it took a little bit more work than maybe we were expecting.
Yeah, I think so. Especially at the 9-3 in particular, I looked at that and I was thinking, all right, this is pretty quick. This will be done in just a moment. And it wasn't the case. They were, they were made to work. They really did at least struggle a little bit at times to close out that map. And what should have been very plain sailing, what should have been pretty easy, it wasn't. It was a little bit harder fought towards the tail end. But with that being said, that is actually all of the games now done. So we actually have, I'm pretty sure, playoffs now getting locked in from this region, which is pretty sick. Of course, that was 13-7. Latvia, I think, have gone flawless in their group of 13-5. Switzerland beat Luxembourg too, which is good for them. I'm just checking the rest of the results. Portugal beat Netherlands. I think that those are all the ones that were happening simultaneously with ours. And even Austria actually beat Malta 13-0 as well. Yikes. But yeah, I do think all of those teams are now being locked into place for that. But when we get it full confirmed on Wikipedia and the rest, we'll let you know. For now, though, we're going to first one to break, and then we're going to head on over to the East Europe quals. We'll see you in a second.